Hello, and welcome to the Fit Over 40 Challenge Show, the number one health and fitness show for those of us in the club. That's right, the 40 and Over Club. My name is Coach Dave. I'm going to be your coach and your host today. Super excited to bring you another episode of the show, and I just want to thank everybody for just listening, and obviously during these challenging times that we're going through, just appreciate all your feedback and everything. And today, again, I want to kind of just dive in a little bit more. I've been doing a lot of journaling, and I want to talk about 5 lessons that I've learned from now that can help you become better. All right? Now, here's the one thing that I think that this pandemic is teaching us, and it's teaching us about the things that truly matter. I mean, we're talking about family. We're talking about connection, community, love, and health. And I find it interesting that there are some people that are resisting this experience. They just don't want to embrace the fact that this is life. This is something that happens, and it happens for you, not to you. And for those people that are still wanting things to go back to normal as quickly as possible, it just isn't going to happen that way. I mean, over time, sure, we might get back to what's close to normal, and I get it. I want it to be back close to normal, but it's not going to be. Things have changed, and we've got to embrace that change. We've got to be able to adapt. And those that are embracing the change, they're making the most out of this time. It's been a time where you've had opportunities to do things that you haven't been able to do before. Get extra sleep, maybe start writing a book, hang out with the family, maybe connect more on the phone or on FaceTime or and Zoom chats. And you have to understand that sometimes when things are entirely out of your control, the best thing to do is to embrace the situation and figure out how to become better on the other side. That's the key, is how can you use this time to become better on the other side. I have actually started running outside. I don't typically run outside. I run on a treadmill. But my wife and I, we've been running outside. We've been doing anywhere from 2.5 to 3 miles. So I've been running almost a 5K outside, and I actually kind of am enjoying it. At first it was challenging, but I'm enjoying it. But, here's the thing, is that we can't control pandemics. We can't control the government and the quarantines. We can control our response and reaction to everything. Another key point, okay? You can control how you react and how you respond. It's everything. And with that, here I wanted to share just a few important lessons that I've kind of written down and I've taken from this whole experience that we're having. So the first one, and this is just something that's kind of come back to me, but your health is your greatest asset. Because see, here's the thing, without health, you can't truly experience life. And it's your responsibility to yourself and to others to make this a top priority. I mean, when I was an intern at the Cooper Aerobics Center, some of you might have heard of Dr. Cooper. He's considered the father of American aerobics. He had talked about preventative medicine. And he talked about him being a doctor, and he started up at his practice seeing patients that were healthy, and the other people in his industry thought he was crazy. They thought that you can't survive that way. There's no way you can build a practice. And man, and this was in the mid to late 90s that I did my internship there, but he did this back in mid to late 70s, and the vision he had then was crazy. And then when I was in there in the 90s, I thought to myself, after listening to hear him speak, because for some of you guys that know that my dad died of a massive heart attack at 67, I always felt that, man, I have to continue to be healthy. I've got to try to do my best to be as healthy as I can be so that I can prevent illnesses. And it was crazy as a 20-some-odd-year-old that I thought that way, because obviously at that age we think that we're or invincible. So you have to understand that the first thing is your health is your greatest asset. Okay, health is wealth. Second thing, you get to dictate your response to the circumstances. And I'm not going to say that I'm always perfect on this, because I'm not. But whether you choose to tune into the news all day and live in fear, or you make the most of the situation, is entirely up to you. Okay? Everyone is having different experiences, and I've seen some different people post this on social media, on Facebook. What one person is going through, somebody else is going through it completely different, and I get that. Okay, some people have a lot more at stake, but again, it's entirely up to you, and it's how you process it, and it's how you just ultimately think about and control the circumstances that you can control. Is what I'm trying to say. Okay, you got to control what you can control. There's lots of things that you can't control. Okay, so the second thing is you dictate your response to the circumstance. The third thing is create space for growth. This is by far probably the single best time to focus in on your growth. Okay, and I'm talking about growth is one of those high level human needs. If you're not growing, you're dying. Okay, you might have heard that before. And now is the time. Humans are motivated and exhilarated by growth. I mean, think about it. Whenever you do something that you haven't done before, think about how you feel and you're accomplished. And again, that could be that you started, reading daily. Maybe it's scripture. Maybe it's a motivational book. Maybe you're listening to motivational podcasts. Maybe you're listening to this podcast, which I hope you're doing on a regular basis, or even starting that new business. And one thing that I've done is I have basically started up what I'm calling McGarry Wellness Solutions. And it's going to be kind of a number of different things, which I'll have more information coming down the road for you. But I'm sitting there saying, when I look back at coronavirus, COVID-19, 2020, I'm looking and saying McGarry Wellness Solutions was created. I created a brand new business, and wow, to think about 20 years from now, where that business is and where it was and how it started. I'm just going to be completely pumped to look back on that. And you can too. Okay. Again, if you thought about writing a book, maybe starting a blog, maybe take guitar lessons, I don't know, but growing yourself daily will change you fundamentally. So you've got to do something every day during this time period that's going to move you forward and allow you to become better. Okay. And there's no better time to trade in the Netflix, to trade in social media, to trade in watching the news for education and personal growth. Now's the time. Don't let it go. I can't tell you and emphasize that enough. The fourth one is going to be give more, and again, I know that there's lots of different circumstances out there. Okay. You might be out of a job. You might be furloughed. You might have rent due, anything. So it doesn't have to be money. It can be time. It can also be someone who's there to listen for support. Okay. There might be somebody that's going through a tough time, dealing with something that maybe you've been through, and you can reach out to them and just say, hey, I want to just check in and see how you're doing. I can't tell you how that can go so far. So it doesn't have to be financial. It doesn't have to be money. There's always someone with less who needs your help. Okay, so start thinking about it. Be intentional about thinking about who you can help. I try to do that daily. Hasn't been always easy, but it's something that I try to think about. Who I can reach out to. Who can I talk to? Who might need my help? The fifth and final one is motivation is created by you. not something that just happens to you. Okay, many people are struggling with motivation. I get it. They're demotivated right now. Okay, and they're demotivated around exercise. They're demotivated around getting stuff done around the house. Okay, the first week was okay. Second week, yeah. Third week, I mean, we're now in the fourth, fifth week, depending on when you're listening to this. Hopefully, by the time you listen to this down the road, a couple months from now, we're out of this situation. But people are losing motivation. Okay, and I get it. It's not always easy. Okay, but waiting for motivation means waiting a long time. Motivation comes from taking action. Let me say that again. Motivation comes from taking action that gets you a result. Nothing starts with motivation itself. Okay? It's that first initial taking action step that gets you a result. So, those are just kind of the 5 high level things that's just kind of been on my mind, what I've been thinking about, what I've written down in my journal and stuff like that. I thought I'd share it with you. I know it's going to be a quick podcast. But again, I hope that you get something out of this. If you do, please, let me know. I want to hear it. Obviously your reviews, your ratings, all that stuff really matters. So if you would please subscribe to the show, leave a review, leave a comment, share it on social media, share it with a friend, share it with somebody who needs to hear this. Okay. I know that there's got to be somebody that you could just, reach out to and say, hey, I just want to let you know, I heard this podcast. Hey, listen to it. Might get you some motivation to help you move forward, take that first action. Okay. Might make them think about, man, I really need to start my personal growth. So do me a favor and share it with somebody. Leave me a review, comment. And also, if there's anything I can do to assist you during this time period, please let me know. You can find me on social media. You can send me an email at dave@davemcgarry.com. Obviously, my whole goal right now is to just help as many people as I can struggling with different things. Like I said, a lot of people that I know of are struggling with motivation. So I'm trying to be as motivating as possible. I'm trying to lift my level of motivation up to help them. So just by introducing them to my podcast or anything else that I have on social media would be great. And if you need any help, please don't hesitate, to respond and get with me, because I'd be more than happy to jump on a call with you and help you out. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Again, this is Coach Dave signing off.